Okay. So it's all in your own hands now.
Right. You know what? I don't think we sit and think about stuff like that. We just got to play the games and finish the season. I've been doing this a long time, and I know football can kick you in the teeth if you get in front of yourself a little bit. So let's just prepare the team for the next game and see how we get on and reassess. But yeah. Listen, I think training was very normal today. We're just preparing to play Watford. I think a really dangerous Watford, I would suggest, with the quality of players at the top end of the pitch they've got. So, I don't think as a group it's something we discuss or talk about. We just got to play the games, see how many points we get, and see where we finish. We could finish as low as 12th or 13th, I suppose. There's so many teams within such a close distance of each other with points. So let's just keep going, and it's good to be in the mix with a few games to go. Bring on Saturday.
Had you almost written it off going into the playoffs, or did you always think you can get back in?
To be honest, I haven't thought about it. It's mainly media keep asking me questions. We've seen it being on the TV a lot, so that's always a question they ask. I don't really set targets, to be honest, in football or in life. Really, I think because if you start failing on them targets, it's really difficult to create a different narrative for the players. I think let's just try and win the next game. That's 90 minutes. Let's try and get 3 points. Let's just collect points really and keep going. And the points you collect will generally be what you deserve over the course of a season, and see where it takes you. So we might get no points the next 2 games, and as I say, finish mid-table. Or we could win the next 2 games and finish in the top 6. So let's wait and see. Let's go and play the football matches.
How excited are you? You're a bit excited, aren't you?
No.
I can tell.
No. Excited. I honestly don't understand the excitement. We have to win some matches really, and I think there's so many teams around us. Some team might win 2 matches out of the next 2, and we found it really difficult. We've just won 1, so to win 3 matches on the bounce, I said to you a couple of weeks ago, it's hard to win 3 matches on the bounce in this league, and there's going to be lots of twists and turns over the next couple of games, and I don't think, I know I don't set myself up for the big fall, to be honest. I never have done, and what'll be will be. If we can win a couple of games, then we'll have some big matches to play. If we don't, we'll probably still look over the season and think that we've had a decent first season back in the Championship, and then not too long you'll have a quick break, and then you'll be ready to prepare and go again for next season.
And whatever happens, it will go into the last game, which you always said was a target. I mean, when you look back, that's a decent achievement.
Listen, in planet football that we live today, it's you lose these 2 games and you finish 12th, and the narrative for the rest of history will be that season we finished 12th. It was all right, average first season back, average. You have to do it. You have to perform. You have to score goals and keep clean sheets, and you have to win football matches. And the story will be what the story is on the back of the next 2 games for us. And if it's hard luck story, then as I said, for me it's about the progression of the players and the development of them, and trying to grow together and be a team that can compete in this division. If we can find a way to win some games and it goes our way, then we'll have another 2 games to play, and let's just take it as it comes. Don't be shouting from the rooftops that we're going to do this and do that, and I'm sitting here next week and we've nothing. It was finished nowhere really. Everybody else won and we got beat. So let's just play the game. Watford, as I said, they've got some very, very highly talented individual footballers. They've been on a difficult run, but I'm sure their pride they'll want to finish the season strong, and we have to be ready for that really. So focus on ourselves as we've been trying to do, and trying to play our game and try and be aggressive and play on the front foot and see if we can find a way to win.
It's likely to be near enough a sellout on Saturday. Given what's happened with the football club over the last few years, there's some value in just having created moments like that for the fans and for the club, isn't there?
Listen, I hope, I talk about the supporters, after the game the other day. It's amazing, it's great for them that they can see their team win and perform and enjoy what I'm very aware I call an inexperienced team. It's really funny talking to some of the people I know at West Brom who genuinely thought it was our youth team who turned up, and as they were walking through the tunnel, and some of their players actually saying how small and fragile the team looked, and yet we found a way and performed at a level that gave them problems and managed to win the game. So listen, for the fans, good moments, happy days, good moments. It's amazing that they travel in such numbers, and the numbers that at home, it'd be nice for us. It's been difficult at times at home this year, or more difficult at home than it has been away. But hopefully we can find a way at the weekend to finish the season strong, and then thank the supporters after the game, and hopefully keep the season rolling for a little bit more.
As we've said many times, just not all young players, but unfortunately a lot of the more experienced ones have got injured. Is there some value in a situation like this with the sort of broad youth of the squad almost not understanding the pressure of the situation and just being able to go out and be free and play?
Yeah, maybe. Listen, the individual personalities are what allow them to play at the levels I would suggest, not anything other than that's your personality. Sometimes people can crumble under pressure, and other people thrive under pressure. And within our team, we've got a balance generally of young players who are enjoying playing in the big arena, really, and they have a license to express their talents and to play without the knowledge they know that they're not going to get lambasted by a lunatic coach screaming at them after they make a mistake. Really, it's they're allowed to make mistakes. They have to be brave and play, and part of this club's story is to be bold and creative and industrious, and that's what we try to be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tony, just how important is your goal difference going into these final two games? Obviously, compared to some of the people around you, it is quite good. Is that what helps keep it in your hands?
I think goal difference only ever comes into your mind on that last day, really. We have to get through this game first, in my mind. We're the same as Coventry, aren't we? Plus 10, is it? I think. I always, every season, I try and have a football team that will finish with a plus goal difference, really. I think it's important that you're scoring goals, and yet if you look at the season we've had without a main number 9, it's a great credit to this group of players that they've managed to have a positive goal difference over the piece. And let's see on the last day at Preston, let's see whether we're all looking and thinking that them goal difference of plus 10 or hopefully a bit more by then is actually an extra point in people's minds, because it will be the deciding factor if your points land the same, of course. So let's hope it is relevant for us in a positive manner.
Just a word on Dennis Sirkin. Of course, a great performance from him at West Brom. Just how important has he been in recent weeks for you?
Listen, Dennis' story this season has been a bit up and down, really. I think he's obviously scored a fantastic goal at Millwall and got concussion, and then the concussion sort of reoccurred, and he was out for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I think Dennis, when he's in a good place and he's happy and confident, he's an amazing footballer. Real power and strength and hunger to be a top footballer. So at this moment he's recovered from his concussion issues, and he's doing extraordinarily well for us at a time we need him, really, to give our team a little bit of balance. If you think back throughout the season, I think Trey Hume probably played there once. Niall Huggins has played out there before as well. Gooch has played out there. But Dennis Serkin's a top footballer, and when he's fit as he is at this moment and hungry and enjoying his football, we're delighted he's part of our setup. Yeah.
And just to mention Watford, obviously we've mentioned more a little bit already. They haven't perhaps had the season that they would have wanted, given the calibre of player that you mentioned. They have, and so given that, and given there's only 2 games for them, and there's no realistic prospect of them perhaps getting in the playoffs, how do you assess their threat?
There's a huge threat, I would suggest, from Watford. If you think of Ismail Sarr and João Pedro, 2 of them really, Espria, they've got lots and lots of really good attacking players. Assam Bolonga and Davies, they're a real threat, with lots of experience, lots of talent, lots of speed, lots of individuality. For whatever reason, I'm not at that club. They've obviously had some problems and issues. The coach has changed a few times and stuff. So I don't know. But what I do know is when I look and see the individual talent of Pedro and Sarr and Davies, it's a game that we have to really focus and concentrate on. And if they bring their best game, they can give anybody in this division problems. So we have to be very mindful of that.
Yeah. I was going to ask, like a few people here, Jeff, James, Nick, been covering this stuff for 20, 30 years, and I can't recall a time when supporters have had such pride in the team watching it. Does that give you a sense of your own pride? Does it give you a sense of achievement? Like, can you understand why?
Listen, I haven't watched Sunderland for 20, 30 years like you gentlemen have. A lot of people I meet talk about the happiest they've been since Peter Reid and blah blah blah, whether that's but I don't say that flippantly, because I haven't got a recollection of what's been in between that and what was good and what hasn't been good. What I do know is that I'm sure there's been great moments. There's Alex Neil for a start. There's a great moment at Wembley and amazing occasions, I'm sure, but for me, I think I got this job on the back that the Blackburn Rovers was the youngest team in the division for the 2 years previous or something, and there was a lot of young players at this club, and I don't think I got this job because I lived 30 miles down the road. I'm pretty sure that's not the case anyway. I got this job because I had a track record of working with young players and trying to encourage them, give them game time, put them on the team, let them flourish. And I think just coming out of League One, this club had a lot of young players, and as I found on the first day I got it, really, they'd just recruited 4 or 5 young players as well, and so I think the fit was there. I really enjoy working with them. I think we've had some difficult times with the injury situation and the things that have disrupted what we've been trying to do, but they've all come on board when as I sat up here and said we have to find a way either to score goals, or at the weekend we had to find a way to keep a West Brom team from scoring from set plays. They had maybe 4 6'3" footballers, and then they brought another 2 on at the end, and so they might have had 5 or 6 6'3", 6'4" footballers on the pitch, and how were we going to stop them scoring from set plays and corners and long throws? You have to find a way, and what's good for me with young players is that generally they want to learn, they want to get better, they want to understand how you can do things really, and our job as coaches is to give them the ideas, to show them. Some of them things might be inverted commas the dark arts of football, really, because a 5'7" fullback isn't going to beat a 6'5" centre half when the ball's coming in the box. But if he knows what he has to do the seconds before, or the split second before the ball arrives, and how to use your body as your best tool, you have to find a way, and we've been doing that well, and I enjoy working with players and trying to show them and teach them, and along with the coaching staff who've been amazing. I don't take any credit for the set plays, how we've defended them. Ali Baccarino's got to take immense credit, as I said to you the other week. still in his bed at 3 in the morning with his iPad out trying to decide who's going to mark the 4th 6'3" player that's coming in our box. It's so yeah, a great credit goes to everybody, and to the supporters, to come back to the supporters. I'm just pleased that they travel in their numbers and they've enjoyed the team winning on the road. I think at home, I hope they see a team, whether we win, lose or draw, that are fighting for the team and the city and the cause, and I hope that brings a sense of pride for them, really.
Just a couple more for me. You've talked a lot about Ahmad Diallo, and you spoke earlier this season about Harvey Elliott at Blackburn. Wherever you are next season, if some of the league clubs are looking to loan out somebody, they're going to be looking at Sunderland and specifically you, because you see a safe pair of hands or someone who can develop the young players. Is that something you will try and exploit in the market this summer?
God, I think we've been doing that for a few years, to be honest. Blackburn, I was there 5.5 years, and I think it wasn't just Harvey Elliott we took on loan. We took Tosin Adebayo out of Man City, and Howard Bellis out of Man City, and we had lots of young players, really, that I feel them huge clubs in the Northwest trusted us to look after their players, really, and to try and mature them into potential first team for them. But so if at Sunderland we can do that, and there are talented players at big clubs on salaries that are a million miles away from where we can afford, but they think it's the right place for them to go and play football and get game time, then we're more than happy to welcome to the club and try and give them the game time to help our team and help our young players develop and grow at the same time.
One last one for me. When Ross Stewart was ruled out of the season at Fulham, I mean, the season you're going into it very much alive, did you fear at the time it could go pear-shaped, that you could be going into the last couple of games of the season at the other fighting to stay in the division rather than get out of it?
Well, you never know, dear. I didn't sit there and I sat there. My first emotion was sad for Ross, really. You know, he'd come back from a thigh injury that he'd picked up and missed a few months, and then he came back, played a few games, scored a few goals, and then really innocuously picked up a really bad injury. So my first thoughts were for him. For the team, it wasn't too much different from his thigh injury where he missed, 2 or 3 months. You have to find a way, and we do have Diallo, we do have Roberts, we do have Clark, we do have Pritchard, we do have footballers in my mind who, whilst it might not be their position to play down the middle and running behind or head balls in from crosses, we tried to develop a game plan of playing with the ball and trying to drag people out of spaces to get other people to run into spaces and try and find a way to get the ball into them spaces for us to score goals, and generally it's gone all right. They have taken on information, they have enjoyed the challenge, really, and I think most footballers, if you set them a challenge that's achievable, then they'll strive and try and make it work, and that's what this team have done, really. They've been a joy to work with. After 5.5 years at one club, I've really re-energised here because of the youthful players. It works both ways. I think I try to bring new ideas to them, and yet their drive and their commitment and their desire really re-energise, an old guy who's been working for 5.5 years at one club. It's great to work with new players and different players and see whether they want to learn and become better. It's been a really enjoyable season, and hopefully we can finish it off strong.
How are you looking team-wise for Saturday?
Nobody back. Nobody out either, I don't think, so it won't be too far away from the choices we had at Albion last week.
It seems ridiculous to ask this, but there was a real left field link with another coach earlier this week, which obviously confused fans, worried fans who appreciate the job we've done this season. I presume, as far as you're concerned, it's business as usual, and you still fully intend to be in charge next season, obviously.
Yeah, I think so. I think, listen, as you would expect, I probably got 50 people send me the same article, really, and I'm not sure where it comes from. What I do know about professional clubs, and maybe it could be highlighted by maybe a Chelsea or a Tottenham at the moment, if your clubs don't have succession plans, then maybe they get ridiculed somewhere along the line, I don't know. But I'd have to say it didn't really unnerve me. I feel as if I have been in football a long time, and I sit here pretty relaxed about how I manage football clubs and how I manage teams and what we can do. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't really had conversations about that situation, but I was obviously made aware of it by a lot of people who do go on social media and do follow things. But I don't know the answer to that. It's not my domain. But as I said, it hasn't unnerved me, to be honest. I'm really energised. I really enjoy working with this team and these players. And that's why I'd like to finish the season strong. And whatever the summer brings, if the club have got other ideas, then that's their prerogative. That's fine. But at this moment, because I also heard somebody had written somewhere about me thinking of retiring. You know, it makes me laugh, really. I think, there's nothing. I get up before 6 o'clock every morning and love that drive down the A19 to come here, because I know I'm going to come and work with some amazing young footballers who want to get better, and the people I meet from this city, they're all been really positive. You know, we've had some pretty bad days as well where results haven't gone our way, and yet this fan base have been really supportive of everybody, I think, and of the team mainly. So yeah, a strange scenario, but as I say, it's not in my control. I'm probably not the person you should be asking the question to.
Just one more from me. I know we've talked about Gelhardt a lot since January. I know a lot depends on what happens with Leeds, what happens here. Would you be open to potentially bringing him back in the summer and maybe getting the best out of him, the very best out of him in the role you envisaged in January, if that was a possibility?
I think if it was a possibility, it's something. But there's lots of things in the way that I would assume that young Gelhardt would want to go back to his parent club and do pre-season and whatever they're going on pre-season and playing some games and getting a feel. The kid doesn't even know what league they're going to be in, I would suggest, at this moment, when you look at the bottom end of the Premier League. So but we all like him. The first thing is whether he's playing amazingly well or not so well, he works his socks off for the team. He runs and chases and fights and puts his body in, and what an attribute to have for a footballer, somebody who is a grafter. So you can see the signs, you can see the shoots. You know, as I see the daffodils coming in my garden, I see Joffrey loving his football again, thinking he's going to score goals, and yeah, it's almost a shame for him that the season's got a couple of games to go. But for next year, that'll be Leeds' call, that'll be the players' call, and but I've enjoyed working with him. Because as we all see, there's been days where it hasn't gone well for him, but he's still worked and chased and fought, and you can never knock a footballer who'll do that for you.